Hey y'all, friendly neighborhood Jaxblade here, and these last few months have been hard. Like for people who don't know, who haven't seen my community tab yet, these last few days especially have just been really just kind of hard. So last Wednesday, my best buddy Rambo, I had to say goodbye to him. Like he was six years old, way too young, but he was strong. He was really strong. Like he fought his cancer to the end, like going out, like swinging and stuff like that. So nothing but love to him, man. I don't do these type of videos, but I'm just doing it because like he's been on my channel quite a few times, and he's my best buddy, and this just is something I feel like I need to do. I'm not. I'm just talking. I'm just talking, trying to, let things come from the heart. But yeah, it's weird, man. Like I've had pets before, right? But like they were all at different points in my life. For instance, when I was a kid, I had my boy Buster. He was also a boxer, and he was like the best boy. My parents had him before I was born. But the sad reality is I don't really remember much of it. I have core memories of my boy Buster, but I don't have like vivid memories because I was 4. Like I was 4 years old. Like I have core memories of where I remember certain beats, but like I don't remember saying goodbye, even though like when I was like, was it 3 or 4? And then like we had to leave him behind because we were moving to England at the time. And when we moved to England, we got another dog. We got a bulldog. His name was Harley. But all I remember about him was he was just grumpy, and we had to give him up. Like, I don't remember why, the specifics of why. I just remember that was what happened. And then, I had a pet snake in, like, what was it? When was it? It was, like, 2008. Like, he had, like, brothers. Like, he hatched from some eggs and stuff like that. But then he, like, killed his brothers. It was, like, kind of graphic. Rambo was my first pet where I can remember every single detail since I got him when I was 26. Like I was 26 years old because it was 2017. That was the same year he was like born too. Like he was born in February, so his birthday's coming up. But yeah, he was my running buddy. He was, whenever I was down or sad, he'd sense it. And I'm sorry, I'm like, it's still tough to talk about, but it's like he was my boy. He was like there, like that thing. I don't know if like all dogs have this, but he'd like sense whenever I was down and instinctively cheer me up. Yeah, it's just because he was so energetic and joyous, and I just love dogs in general. Dogs are just great. Like I just freaking love dogs. But like he never ran out of energy. Like he was always just like so hyper, and he would like let me pretend that I could keep up with him at certain times when we were running and stuff like that. So I loved him. Like he was so great, and that kept me in great cardiovascular shape. So that was awesome. And like watching the cancer, I think that's the hard part. Excuse me. It's just like watching the cancer like slowly take him, but yet he was still so happy and energetic through the entire thing. Like he was like through the entire thing, it was never like he was not whimpering, he wasn't crying, he wasn't doing certain stuff. For the majority of the thing, he was just like still his cheerful self. Like I remember when the diagnosis was, he was still just like, let's keep playing, let's whatever, I don't care, let's keep playing. And then like when we started, he was still doing great. And so it was simultaneously heartwarming that he was just so positive and energetic, but also like heartbreaking because like it's just he's doing his best. He's doing his best to like keep moving forward. And I gotta say, my boy was an inspiration. Like he was an absolute inspiration. He was tough. Like I remember sometimes we would take him to the vet, and like his like I remember one time like he was so tough, like sometimes he would have these injuries and we wouldn't know because he never cried or whimpered about it. Like they'll be like, we have to notice like, oh, what's going on here, and then the vet would be like, oh, this is going on. It's like he never once cried about it, and it's like, bro, like damn dude. But like man, he was a very tough boy, very very tough boy. And I just man, I don't know, like right now I feel very cold and empty. And I also feel like jaded and angry too, just because it's an unfair situation, you know? Like it's just, it's not fair. Like he was the sweetest boy and stuff like that. And then it's one of those situations where, you know, logically, I can see there are times I'm being irrational. And then like emotionally, my body just feels what it's feeling. You know what I mean? Like, like, like I remember I saw some people and they were happy and they were just like, you know, living their day. And this was like right afterwards and they were so happy. And this was when I was like at my worst. And I fucking hate to admit this. I really, really do, just because I hate talking like, you know, sort of being this type of way. But like seeing those people happy made me feel upset because I was so down and I wanted like them to feel like shit too. And I fucking hate saying that because it's just, it goes back to that quote, the infamous quote, you know, like hurt people hurt people. And that's what I was very much doing. Like I didn't say anything to them, but it was one of those situations where it's just, it's such an unhealthy mindset. You know what I mean? Like it just, it's such an unhealthy mindset in that hurt people hurt people. It's like, I'm damaged or going through shit. I want you to feel damaged, go through that shit. And you know, the thing that sucks about it is, when you really think about it, that's like, it's literally like the physical representation of cancer. Because, you know, what is cancer? Cancer is like a cell goes faulty and it spreads and it just starts making shit worse all around and shit like that. And then, you know, sometimes you can stop it, but it spreads and just makes shit worse. And then like a person who decides, I want to ruin other people's days because I'm hurt and damaged and I want other people to feel like me and spread that, you know, that bullshit around and taint those around them and shit like that. I never want to be someone like that. I never want to become anything like that. Okay. It's like, I never want to be like that. I want to help people. I want to, you know, uplift people and show like, no, you can be great. You can be strong and stuff like that. Like I fucking hate that mindset even crossed my mind because I don't want to feel like, I don't want to be anything like the thing that harmed my boy. That's the honest truth. I do not want to be anything like the thing that harmed my boy. And that's what I feel like that mentality is at points. And it's just, man, I just feel so off. I just feel off at the moment. I just, like, and this is one of those situations where I don't talk about a lot of deep stuff in my personal life. I don't. I feel like sometimes I see people online overshare details about stuff in their personal life. And I think like not in a negative way, but it's like, I feel like that should be restricted to either close family or friends. And so like, all I'll say is I've been going through a lot. I've been going through a lot of stuff and I don't want it to make it seem like this is, you know, some sort of competition, because sometimes I'll see people get into these misery competitions of trying to outdo each other at times. And then, you know, the people I see who always like start these sort of things, like, I don't think they realize it in the moment. And it comes off like the people's just like, oh, you think that's right? Well, I've been through blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm not talking about those situations where someone's trying to give a perspective of like, hey, this happened to this and that was worse for them. So like, you know, be blessed that this happened, you know, because like, you know, that can be like helpful at a point in time. I'm talking about the people who are specifically just trying to aim that like, oh, this is a misery Olympics and this is just way harder and you a bitch and shit like that. It's just like, yeah, that totally helps the situation. And what it feels like is it feels like they are masking emotions to overcompensate at times. And I can empathize with that because it's a sad reality. Again, like character growth. I used to be that type of person. Oh, I went through this. I don't know why the fuck they're even, you know, doing this sort of stuff like that. So I can empathize and sympathize with the person who has done that. But whenever I see it for what it is. It's just like, oh, you're trying to make my situation feel worse than it actually is. It's not. That's not what's going on here, okay? Like, it's literally not. That is not what is happening here. So it's just like, I feel like I have to outdo you to show that I'm handling the stuff. It's like, no, man. Like, I've been there. I have been there. It's just, there's a quote about grief that I remember a lot that is like, if you can drown in a pool of water, you can drown in an inch of water. Like you're still drowning, right? And that's the same thing with grief. Like it's all relative on the situation, depending on what it is. And I have definitely masked emotions to feign strength, where it's just like I put this, I like, overcompensate here to like appear like, oh, I'm actually stronger, like I got stuff going on in my life, I'm perfect, I don't got anything wrong with me, I'm fucking great. I've talked more about this in recent years, but it has been one of those things where I've done that. I've definitely masked my emotions to feign strength, to feign like, oh, I'm such a badass and shit like that too when I was going through it. And you know the quote, like, it is what it is. Like I've done that. I've done that. I've lived that life. It is what it is, And that said, it's been a tough week. It's been just a tough week, and I'm still mending. But like, okay, so funny enough, I was just watching clips because right now I've just been trying to decompress, get myself back to being me and stuff like that. Even with my emotions now, like I've been trying to like get myself back in gear. And like, I was watching clips from the Flash show, the old CW Flash show and stuff like that. And there was a scene that popped up and it cut me deep with what was said of masking emotions to feel and appear strong. I'm just gonna play the clip. I'm not monetizing this video. This is just a video for me. I'm just gonna put the entire clip in there.
It's been 6 months, Barry. You gotta eat, son. It's a good move. Being angry all the time. I get it. You miss your mom and dad and you want to show them that you're strong. Being mad makes it easier. Tougher thing to do would be to let yourself feel. It's okay to be sad. You can be sad, Barry. Your parents will understand if you're not strong all the time. That is why I'm here. It's okay, son. I got you.
And that cut me deep. And I know my joyful boy wouldn't want me to be in this mental state perpetually. Like, of course, now, like, I'm valid in how I'm feeling just because it's so fresh, but I'm definitely going to take some time to rebuild myself back up steadily. And, yeah, like, I don't worry, I have videos I filmed prior to this because, like, mentally, I've just been, I wanted to do this video just because I want to talk about my boy because I love him so much. But like, again, I have videos coming that are things prior, like things I filmed prior to this. So like, you'll have stuff like my stuff on the ground at Big 3, and then I recorded that entire Spider-Verse Miles Gwen video. That should be coming sometime in February. So that's cool. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much for all the kind words, and I feel like I have a very healthy subscriber base, like, and not like healthy like number wise, like healthy as in I see the people here and they're not like, those negative people. Like, it's mostly just positive stuff, and I just want to say I am so proud, not in like in a condescending way of like, oh, I'm so proud, but like I'm so happy that you support me. Like, I'm so happy I have this quality of people supporting me, and I'm just proud of all of y'all, and I'm so happy you're here. So thank you so much for all your support. And yeah, but for now, goodbye for now, Rambo. I love you best, buddy.